Oh, just make sure I'm live. Let's put in a shadow on my face. I think we're live. Yay! Happy Friday and happy end of the month. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy end of the month. We are in the middle of shifting from where we are right now in terms of where I'm staying with my family to another location. So I plan on coming in early tomorrow morning so that I'm done for the day. Because tomorrow, once we go to the new place, I want to relax and not have to set up. I'll do that the following day. But I said all that to say this. What can I learn from what happened? What can I learn from what happened? We will constantly have challenges. I talked in an earlier video that problems actually are good. It shows us that there's room to grow. There's something that we can learn from. And when we have that kind of mindset, it helps to overcome whatever challenges we may face. It helps. Now, depending on what the challenges are, some are going to be really challenging, hard to overcome. And sometimes you might say, well, what can I learn from what happened in this situation? I think of someone passing away, for example, especially for someone young. When that happens, it's a blow, especially when you don't see it coming. I still remember there was a friend of mine. We had gone for a summit together. We were together. I noticed she was not herself. She was, not that she was like an overtly excited person. She was older than I was. But I just noticed that she's not quite herself. 2 days later, she passed away. Just like that. And when I say, what can I learn? Of course, I was very saddened because it was very sudden. It wasn't as if she had been ill. None of those scenarios are better than the other. But somehow, if someone had been sick for some time, you know that there's a possibility that they could pass away. But when you see someone and they're okay, and then they just pass away, it's shocking, especially if they're young. Now, I'll use my father as an example. Now, Dad was already in his 80s. He was not very healthy. We were grateful that he was still going along. But when he passed, it was still a shock. I still remember going to visit him, and I saw he was not his usual self at all. So I'm thinking in my mind, I remember I wanted to take a picture with him. I thought, I did take a picture, but it wasn't the picture I wanted to take. And I thought, when I come back, he'll be more lively, and then I can take a better picture. So I still have those pictures I took of when he was just laying on his bed. He had just eaten. They laid him on the bed, and I took some pictures. And I was like, let him rest. He wasn't expecting to see me. Let him rest. And once he's rested, maybe like the next following day, he'll be up and about, and we can have a good chat. Well, that was the last time I saw him alive. The next time I saw him was when we had gone to take his body to the morgue. So what did I learn from that lesson? A couple of things. You just never know when will be the last time you see someone. So make the most of that time, especially if this is someone you don't see very often. For the elderly, you can anticipate that, yes, at some point they will pass. But for the young people, it's just nobody prepares you to see someone young. When I say young, maybe less than 60, even less than, these days, even less than 70, but less than 60, you just don't expect them to go. And so it's hard to prepare and say, okay, maybe this will be the last time. But let's make every moment the best whenever we see anyone. Not thinking this might be the last time, but let's make every moment. That's what I've learned. Make every moment you spend with someone the best. And the other lesson I learned from my father was the importance of taking care of my health. Dad did not take care of his health, and it showed in his latter years because he was diabetic. He completely lost his vision. Maybe for a little bit, you could say a little bit, but he was pretty much blind. And if you knew my father in his earlier years, he was this full of energy, up and about, enjoying life. But at the same time he was enjoying life, he was slowly just putting in toxins. Like he was smoking, drinking. So that made the situation worse for him. And so, even though he lived what we'll say long life, his health was not the best. And so I used that as a lesson that I can learn from him to take better care of my health. Another thing I learned from my dad, now even though his health was not the best, but Dad always had a way of finding the funny in any situation. He was never one to be down and depressed or sad. Never complained that, oh, look at me, I'm blind. No, never. I never heard him say that. Instead, and I think that's probably why he lived as long as he did, because he was always laughing. He was always finding something funny to laugh about. He would say things like, oh, when I would call him, he would say, yes, I'm in the departure lounge. I said, Dad, departure, meaning, depart the world. For him, it was funny. So, a couple of lessons learned from Dad. So whenever something bad happens, we can find the lesson that we can learn. We can learn from those lessons. What can I learn from what happened? What can I learn from what happened? Think about that. Whatever situation you're going through, the good and the not so good, think about what can I learn from what happened. And with that, hey, thanks so much for joining. I'm going to have an early night tonight, and I will see you early tomorrow before we head out on another long trip. This holiday, I won't call it holiday, I've been driving and visiting schools and colleges and driving from one place to the other, long trips. But hey, what can I learn from what happened with all the driving I've been doing? Sometimes you just have to do things you're not comfortable with, or go the extra mile for family, and that's why I'm doing what I do. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. And God bless. Thank you for